again, take two. Today is Thursday. It's the 20th of February. It is about 6:15 in the a.m. We did get more snow. We got probably 5 to 7 inches, something like that, depending on where you're at. But it was fluffy snow, so it wasn't like it was heavy enough to weigh down limbs and break them and thereby losing power and all that stuff. So it really wasn't too bad. It could have been much worse. I'm sorry about yesterday. Yesterday I did the head cut off thing again. I don't understand, because when I'm looking at the camera, it looks like I'm in full frame. So there was probably a button I pushed at some point, and I'm sorry. Oh, so sorry about that. Yeah, I might even upload the one that I was messed up on. I don't know. Oh, hi, I'm Beth, and this is my box. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that, because I said it in the first one when I tried to do this right, and I didn't do it right. Anyway, got my coffee. Still early in the morning, which is awesome. It's Thursday, so it's day 2 of my 4-day week. Okay, so after Mo, when I had to put down Mo, my heart was so broken that I wanted to get another dog, but I didn't want to get another dog if I could not afford vet bills for the dog, because it wouldn't be fair to the dog. You know what I mean? Being a dog owner means you are responsible for the health and well-being of the dog. Just like if you were a cat owner or hamster owner or horse owner, if you are taking care of an animal, then yeah, you need to make sure you take care of the animal, not just with feeding, but with making sure their health is okay. So because I had to put down Mo, it really it twisted my little head on not wanting to get another dog until I could afford a dog, at least the vet. So anyway, a friend of mine lived in an apartment building, and the apartment building said that he could not have the dog that he had in the apartment. So he had to bide his time to move out. So he had like 6 months still left on the lease, and he couldn't get out of the lease, but he couldn't have the dog either. So he needed somebody to babysit his baby dog. Now, his dog was a baby. She was only about 8 months to a year maybe old, but I babysat his dog for him for 6 months basically. It was around that time frame. Well, her name was Sheema, and this way I could have a dog without having a dog. You know what I mean? It wasn't my responsibility to take the dog to the vet, but I could still have a dog and love on a dog and do all those cool things that you do with dogs, even if it's just sitting on the couch and having a big old fat head lay itself on your lap. Sheema was a Rottweiler, a full-bred Rottweiler. So you got this big, hefty body moving around in my teeny tiny trailer, because my trailer was only, it was either 12 or 14 by 60. So it wasn't really big. This is what, back in the 60s, that's just the way they made things. The smallest part of the trailer was the hallway. You could get 2 people side by side walking down the hall, but they would be skinny people and it would be tight. So if the Rottweiler was coming down the little hallway, you had to let the Rottweiler go first. But anyway, Sheema was an awesome dog. She really was an awesome dog. She would get all excited, and when she got excited, she would jump up and she would put her hands up in the air, or paws, if you will, put her little paws up in the air and do this. So she was so excited, she'd just go, ee! On her hind legs and stuff. And it was so adorable and so cute that Joey and I called it the Sheens because her name was Sheema. So when she got excited, she did the Sheens. So that became a whole thing, and even now I can sit there and go, oh, the Sheens. So after that time frame went on, eventually I had to give Sheema back, which was fine because it wasn't my dog, but I was allowed to love on it and love on her, and that was awesome. So eventually I gave Sheema back, and a couple years went by, and again I still was a broke ass bitch because, imagine that. That's just where I was at the time. I'm still kind of that way, but I think it's because I don't focus as much on money as other people do, just because I guess I'm not accustomed to it. I don't know. Maybe that'll change if I ever come across some money. The world, to me, doesn't revolve around money. You know what I mean? You can be as rich as you want, but if you're disrespectful in any way, then there's major fuck you that's coming your way. And that's why I have no respect for Dumpy or Elon, because they're both fuckwads. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so years went on. Joey could see that I wanted a dog, but he didn't understand because he's a kid. He was a kid at the time. The responsibility that comes along with getting a dog, like the vet bills. So one Christmas he decided to be my little Geen. That was my nickname for him because when he was little, one day when we're all sitting around the dining room table, it was probably Thanksgiving or something, he just yelled out, Gee! And it was so cute that I called him Geen after that. Anyway, he wanted to give me a present to make me feel happy about life and everything. And he had a friend who had a lot of puppies. A lot of puppies. Anyway, I had dropped him off at his friend's house, not thinking nothing of it. And then when I went to pick him up, he comes out with this puppy in hand and says, Merry Christmas. So what am I supposed to do with that? He's giving me this dog as a Merry Christmas, and I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, I still don't have a job to take care of the vet bills and blah, blah, blah. But damn, he's so cute. And that was my Schnoodle. He too had a name that I was not going to keep. I think his name was, it was some kind of Richie Rich kind of name. I can't even remember. When I think of it again, I'll let you know. But I changed his name to Schnoodle because then I could go Schnoods, carry that vowel sound. And I appreciate it, and apparently dogs appreciate it too. So, yeah. Schnoods was interesting. Schnoods kind of looked like a miniature Mo, to be honest, with his coloration, but he had more tan on his muzzle than Mo did. And I do have a picture of Schnoodle more readily available than I do of Mo because Schnoodle was the more recent one dog. But he was short, and he was a West Virginia dog. No diss to West Virginia. I love you to pieces. But, those are the jokes of West Virginia. Basically, his mom dog and his dad dog were brother and sister dogs. So when they mated, they created all the other puppies and the Schnoodle. So yeah, his parentage is incest, I guess you would say. I don't know how you say that in dog terms, but yeah. So when I got him, there was a couple of oddities about him that I wasn't accustomed to with dogs. First, he didn't really bark, which in some points is good. But I wanted him to bark. just because I'm a single parent living inside a trailer, I want some sort of alarm to let me know that somebody's out there. So I literally taught the dog to bark. I didn't teach him well enough to shut up. So I defeated myself in that purpose because I really wanted the dog to talk, but I didn't want him to talk all the fucking time. So that was one of the oddities. I continued because I had researched on feeding dogs, feeding your dog at home. I had done the research once I discovered what was going on with Schnoodle. When I first got him, I fed him exactly what it was that he was eating at home, which was pedigree hard and a little bit of pedigree soft in the can. Okay. And I discovered that every time I let him outside to go to the bathroom, if he went poo, I'd have to wipe his butt because there would be residue, stuff left over. And I was like, oh, hell no, I am not going to wipe this dog's ass every time he comes in the house just because something's going wrong here. I need to fix this shit. So I researched, and eventually what I came up with was I started cooking for the dog. I took chicken, peas, and carrots. And in the beginning, I also used oatmeal and pumpkin. I tried to not do the pumpkin pie filling because if you do the pumpkin pie filling, it's got a lot of sugar. But if you just do pumpkin, then there's not as much sugar in it. So, of course, he absolutely loved it. And I still added in a smaller portion of the hard food because the hard food had the extra minerals and vitamins that he might be missing in my simple food supply that I provided for him. So I made him a stew like once a week and put him in containers and just put him in the freezer and saved him for later. So anyway, doing what I did stopped that whole poo thing. He still went poo, and it was nice, healthy poo, but at least I didn't have to wipe his ass, okay? That was a big thing. But Snoods was a good dog, and he looked like he was part miniature dachshund, I guess you would say. Not miniature dachshund, but part dachshund, because he had this stretched out body, and the colorations, because, again, he had the same kind of colorations as Mo, black and tan. He was short though, so he looked like he had some dachshund in him, some kind of beagle in him maybe, and then I don't know where he got the long hair and the fluffy butt from, because thinking of smaller breeds, unless it was like a miniature German Shepherd or something like that, because he had, just like Mo, he had the German Shepherd fluffy butt, with the tail being all fluffy and the little back of his legs being all fluffy. Schnoodle had the same kind of setup. So Schnoodle lived a right long time. I think Schnoodle was around for about 14 years, which was awesome. But in the end, he had to be put down too because I could tell that he was not feeling well because he was lethargic. Usually he's like, boom, boom, up and ready to go. I think if I had not moved him around that morning, my main concern was, okay, you got to go pee. Everybody's got to go pee first thing in the morning. And usually he was pretty good at that. He had no problem going to the bathroom. And because I trained him to go outside, it's very easy to do in the trailer because I just mainly left the back door open because it was inside the fenced yard. So I didn't have to worry about somebody being an asshole trying to come up in my house. But that's a good thing about living in a trailer. For the most part, you ain't got shit. So nobody's going to come to your house and steal shit because you ain't got shit. If they lived in a trailer park and they were of the thieving mindset, they went outside the neighborhood to somebody who actually had something. Because nobody in the trailer park had anything worth stealing. So there was that. There's an upside to living in a trailer park after all, people. So that morning I moved him and he was not into being moved at all. So I made an appointment with the vet, and it was weird because he was not really responsive at all that day. The next day we were going to go to the vet, and in the meantime the next day I woke up and his face had swelled up on one side, but he had his energy back and he was just all happy and willing to be puppy and do all the stuff that he used to do. So it was extra sad because of the thing on his face, and the lady said that apparently he had liver cancer and it was basically time. And so I had to put Schnoodle down. And I was in the room with him and I was able to say goodbye to him as the medicine kicked in. And you could see it in his eyes. It was like, whoop. And that's how it went. And because of my living situation at the moment, I'm unable to get a dog. I live with my mom and my son, so I'm in the middle as far as generational concerns. My mom is 80 and my son is 35. Ugh. My son has his own dog and his name is Pup. Yes, his name is Pup. I thought it was a weird name, but okay, we're going with it. So because it's my mom's house, she does not want another dog in the house at the same time. We've got this one dog. So out of respect for that, okay, fine, I won't get another dog. But I do want another dog because as I'm seeing it right now, I don't see me being interested in the slightest in getting married or getting hooked up with anybody. I'm just living my life at this point for me. So, yes, I'd like to have a dog as a companion because that's what I do. That's how I survived, basically, mostly mentally intact for all the years that I went through life with not a whole lot of anybody there. So I love dogs. I love dogs more than I love humans because I can understand a dog. I can't understand some humans. I mean, technically I can, but I don't want to because you make it. Some folks make it so hard to just carry on, just being yourself around them. Like here at work, I've got a creepy dude. Remember, I told you just because I exist doesn't mean that you have the right to go exactly right there as far as putting your man piece and my woman piece. Yeah, that's who he is. So every time, even though I'm almost 60 years old, he still thinks these thoughts. And it's like, damn, would you just not get the fuck off? I've already explained to him quite rudely, quite loudly, that I do not want to fuck him. I can't make it any clearer than that. But yet he still has these little fantasy thoughts in his head, and I can, in a way, hear him and sense it and feel it. So it leaves me feeling icky when I did nothing other than come to work. But there's no proof for me to sit here and try and go to HR. I already went to HR, and again, they let me know there was no proof. And because there was no proof, there was nothing I could do except for endure this. So then I went part-time with being a driver, and then that led me to this job. Because fuck him, he has no right to do that. But still, I have to be exposed to him, even with me being in this position, because he's still here and he still does the goggly googly things. And when I see somebody doing that, that lets me know he's stuck at level 1. Think about the 7 layers the 7 levels of Kundalini. So yeah, I got something to come. Hold on. So yeah, they always, when you look at the other religions that are out there, you have the chakras. That's it. The 7 stages of chakra, and you want to get to the crown chakra because that's the highest level. When somebody can only think about sex as being the winning combination for life, if that's the only thing you can think about, then that means you are stuck at level 1 and you can't get out of level 1. And if you can't get out of level 1, how do you expect to get to level 7? Huh? That may start things off, but that's not the end. That's just the beginning. And for this creepy, pervy dude out here, just like all other creepy, pervy dudes out there, you're missing out on what life is all about because you're stuck at level 1. All right. Been going for almost 21 minutes now, just kind of talking about my dogs. I love dogs. Dogs are better than humans sometimes. So again, when I compare Kendrick to my dog Mo, that's not a degradation. That's a compliment. Because my Mo was awesome. Anyway, y'all take care for now. Because that's all we got. Peace out to everyone. Just take care of each other because that's all we got. All right? Peace out, people.